Girl Chat. Our girl Tiny is our guest co-host. We'll find out why T.I. says he's more attracted to Tiny than ever.
We didn't even get to the good part yet.
And Remy Ma calls for girl power among female rappers.
Y'all have woman powers. Y'all forget. Y'all can use them for good, all right?
Plus, it's a family affair. Zonnique is in the house and she's performing just for us. The Real starts now. This is our
We are so happy to welcome back our guest co-host today. She's a Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter who just finished a reunion tour with Escape. Woo! She's also executive producing and starring in the current season of Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta. Everyone, give it up for Tiny!
Hey.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
How are you feeling today?
Feeling great. Always glad to be here with you guys.
We love having you. Love having you here.
So much
fun. All right, now, Tiny, it's Friday, and while many people are counting down to the weekend, we here at The Real like to start the party a little early. That's right. We don't celebrate Friday. Nope. We celebrate Friday! Today, we're keeping things elegant with the classiest of cocktails, a French 75. It's a mix of vodka, fresh lemon juice, simple syrup, and champagne.
So delicious.
Yes, so Tiny, have you tried it?
I have, and it tastes really good.
Okay, so
It's
really good.
Bottoms up then, babes. Yeah, I know, it is refreshing. All right, so to find out how to whip up one of these for yourself, just head to thereal.com for the cocktail or mocktail recipe. Now, Tiny, are you ready to keep it real with some Friday girl chat?
Always.
Here we go. All right.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well, let's dig right into it, Tiny. It's no secret you have a lot of fans, but I hear your biggest fan is one of my biggest rappers. I love him so much. Your husband, T.I.
Where y'all hear that from?
No, I heard we work together, right? And he told me, he was like, he really admires you. He says that, I heard that when you renew your energy and your confidence and your career success, that's a turn on for a man. I guess the question I have is, how are you guys doing right now?
We're actually in a great place. We're in a great space. So, I don't know, maybe it's working. Maybe he does, like it a little bit. I don't know, I hope so, because that's all I'm gonna be is a strong woman, so I hope he is.
That's right, we're gonna change. What advice would you give to anybody that is going through ups and downs and trying to hang in there with their marriage?
Yeah,
if you
marriage
give
is
anything
so
to a
hard.
woman.
You just gotta keep fighting, if you really love it, it is so hard, But I think, with me just finding who I am and, going through whatever we was going through, it helped me to balance myself when I got back to trying to get ourselves back together where we could, be one again.
Do you think the tour helped?
I definitely think me working, and just doing my own thing helped for me. I don't know about him, but it definitely helped me. So the situation just kind of came together like glue. So I guess so.
Okay, I like it.
How long have you guys been married?
We've been, it will be 8 years in July.
Yeah,
but you guys have been together forever.
We've been together for 17 years.
Wow, that's long.
That is beautiful. This is interesting. I have a question, so I'm going to part the question for a second, but I want to ask, you being back on tour and working and being busy, do you feel like that kind of reinvented yourself or reinvented your relationship in some way?
In some way, I feel like it did. I mean, you know, we just, you know, he started being supportive and trying to help and, you know, giving advice when before, you know, we didn't have any of that. I mean, I guess he had nothing to be so supportive about. And I just had to, just go for it. And when I did, you know, he came around.
I love it. So then, okay, and
I love
filled
it.
where you didn't have before. Interesting, yeah. No, just because I talk to a lot of moms, and moms who don't have other stay-at-home moms or women who don't have the other outlets to be a woman besides just being a mother, sometimes I feel like that it takes a toll on their marriage. Right. So I've heard other women who start to find work or hobbies, or they get involved in groups so that it's not just being a mom, they begin to carry themselves a different way that attracts their husband differently.
Yes, I believe
Being
in
a
all
boss
of that.
lady is sexy.
Yes.
Okay.
And you are doing your thing, and there is nothing
Thank you.
sexier than seeing a woman be a boss, be successful, follow her passion. I'm sure every night he saw you on that stage, he was like, yes. Speaking of boss ladies in the music game right now, our girl Remy Ma recently hosted a women's empowerment brunch in Beverly Hills and discussed how she believes in collaboration and friendships instead of feuds when it comes to female rappers. Remy said, quote, "We all bring something different to the table, and once people realize that, stop fighting each other, work together, and help build each other up, we'll grow even more."
Yes.
I love this. I am a huge fan, you guys know this, of rap music. I love this, I completely agree with this. I try to think to myself, okay, I'm not gonna front. Obviously, when her and Nicki had the beef going on, and I'm not gonna lie, I was sitting at my computer all day long waiting for the response. Okay, so that part, yes, was fun. But how much doper would it be if they did a record together? I do agree in that sense. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As dope as, yes, it fuels the fire. Does that make any sense what I'm saying?
Right, yeah, beefing.
Although it gets you excited to see beefing happening, it's so much doper to see two women come together and create great music that we all can listen to and enjoy.
I mean, it's so negative, you know, and when you had two great artists, why go to beefing? When you could just help each other grow, you know what I'm saying? It's about women empowerment these days.
That's right.
Back in the day, there was, you know, where rap was about beefing. But today it's kind of lame.
It's
lame.
2018.
It's about collabs, it's about getting together, and it's about sharpening one another, you know? I think when women are competitive and jealous and when they hate on each other, it actually isn't sexy. It actually really shows, especially as you get older, you realize that women, when they're really like that, they're really showing their insecurities.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the only person you ever have competition with in your life is the person looking back at you in the mirror.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Who you were yesterday and being better today.
Well, you know, I got a question, okay? Because we were so excited for Escape to get back together.
Yes, we were.
But we loved it.
What's your butt?
What did that take to get back, and what's happening now? Because now it was 4, now it's 3.
3 girls that decided to do music. I know Candy had other things, and she didn't want to do new music. So 3 of us decided that we still wanted to do music. A lot of people were asking for new music.
Good.
So we felt like, why not? Why not? This is what we love. This is what we started from, and this is what they know us from. So, you know, when you see Escape 3, that means it's just us 3. But there are 4 girls in the group, and we do support each other, and there will be more of Escape 4.
All right.
That's good to know.
Making, you know, coming on the show.
I think that's amazing, and I'm sure the fans are so excited to hear that.
Love it.
I have to ask, though, obviously, you and Candy are friends.
Yes.
That, in my opinion, that shouldn't put a strain. I'm sure people look at it and are like, oh, that probably is weird and awkward, but it shouldn't be. You guys should be allowed to do your thing, and she can do her thing, and you can continue to support each other, no?
Exactly. That's exactly what's going on. I mean, she didn't want to do it, and nobody has any hard feelings. We're just doing what we do, and she's doing what she do, and we come back together, and we do it all together.
Yeah.
That's good.
That is female empowerment right there in itself. That
Support
is awesome.
each other's decisions.
That's so dope.
In life.
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, I was just wondering, because I was like, can we please get somebody on the show to explain that to us? Because as fans, we don't understand how hard it is to get people, you know, together. Even just because I had interviewed Candy for my radio show, Cafe Mocha, and she was saying just to get together, there was some issues with one of the other girls, and once that became clear, then you guys were able to go on tour and work together and stuff like that. So I just think, like I always say, it's hard working with insecure females.
Yes.
That's the thing.
And once you let your egos go,
Right.
sky's the limit. I also think in rap beefs, it gets weird because you never see men beef with women. Right? It's always
It's not
men,
that many
men.
women, though.
And that's the other thing. Why should y'all beef when there's not that many of you? You should absolutely be uplifting each other. There aren't that
But
many.
I think maybe they're trying to follow the example of, because it used to be back in the
Back
day,
to men.
right, that men used to beef. So I think maybe they were thinking, well, if we do it like that, then we could do the come up too. But since it's not that many of them, it doesn't really make sense to do it. So,
What,
you know.
what do you feel? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, there's so many women that's coming up with just doing great songs.
Yes.
And that's what it should be about, just doing great music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you tell me something? What's the difference between before when y'all used to like tour together and now? Like, what are some significant differences now that you're moms, that you're older?
Well, I can tell you one big difference is that we never headlined our own tour. We were always on someone else's tour. We always toured with R. Kelly. So, you know, just being, you know, we had to like stay in our rooms when he hit the hallways and stuff like that. So coming back this year, we running the show.
Come on,
you know,
love it.
and we're selling out arenas. So it was like really different from us, but we also had to pay all the bills.
Oh, yeah.
Every expense, it comes out of our money.
Okay, and I have one more question about Candy, because I just want to make sure I have it clear.
We're all like, yes.
Because you said that you guys will, the four of you will eventually get back together. Is that only when you guys perform your past songs? Or is there a possibility that the four of you guys will get back together with some new songs? New music.
I cannot say that is so.
Take more drink.
But
Yes.
what I will say that we welcome her at any time.
I love that.
Okay,
Right,
got it.
right.
Being positive, putting it out there.
Yes.
The one thing I will say is that this woman right here is a hell of a songwriter.
Yes,
okay?
she is.
She's a hell of a songwriter.
Yes, she is.
She can write a song and put Candy in it, and before you know it, we back to square one. All right, that's what we do.
Look at God.
Now, refuting to flying last week, you guys, passengers on a transatlantic plane from Germany to New Jersey experienced a flight from hell after a child reportedly threw a screaming tantrum for the entirety of the 8-hour journey.
8 hours.
Wow.
Picture it, hear it, check out this tape.
Tony, come over here.
Since the video went viral, I know you can unplug yours now. People have been speaking up more about wanting the option to pay more money to get on child-free flights. Okay, let's talk about this. Now, what do you think, Tiny? You're a mom. What do you think about this idea? How do we handle this? Because this is common.
Well, I don't know, because I was thinking at first, I was like, you know, just, we all have kids, just tune them out, you know, just do what you do. But looking at that, that is like, that child's, first of all, too big to be doing that when no parent is like, get down, get your, you know.
Yeah, because I was standing up on the
There's
chair.
no way I would have my child that big just running things and doing that. Like, you know, when you have a screaming baby, maybe their ears are hurting, you can't do anything about it because they can't tell you. But that child is way too big for that.
Right.
You know, it should have been some discipline going on.
Yes, for sure. What do you think, Tam?
What do I think? Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind the kid-free flights only because you know you're going to have some happy customers. But not only that, it's like as a mom, and when your toddler or your child is like, you know, having a tantrum, you're already nervous just getting on the plane because sometimes you don't know what's going to happen. I think that'll just take a little bit of the anxiety off the parents, knowing that if I'm on a flight, these people want to be on the flight with a child, if you know what I mean.
I didn't see it
so
that way.
so I mean, if they want it, okay, and maybe the airlines can profit off of it by just, you know, having the prices be a little bit higher. I don't know. I think it's a win-win situation for everybody. Now, this child, I don't know, making an observation, looking at this, I think it's normal for a child to, you know, have a tantrum for an hour, you know. There might be some sensory issues with, what I mean is throughout the hour, not like for an entire hour.
This was 8 hours.
This was 8 hours. So with a child screaming for 8 hours straight, there might be some sensory issues. There might be something going on that we don't necessarily see. Or the other observation is I really don't see the mom disciplining, the child, because I don't know, they need to definitely look into that, because that's not normal for a child to be screaming. I mean, I know if my child screamed for 8 hours, he would be passed out somewhere. He would be
Exhausted.
He would be exhausted.
He would cry himself to sleep.
I know.
I actually, okay, so I was opposite of you. I felt like, thinking of parents, I felt terrible asking for a flight where that they couldn't get on. You know what I mean? Because that now leaves limited flights to where the parents can get on. But at the same time, with you saying that, the peace that I know that my sister, who's a mom, would feel knowing this is a family flight.
Friendly, yeah, it's a family
This is a family flight. This is a flight where people expect, okay, if the kid's crying, your kid might be crying too, and your kid back there might, we all in this together, we all got crying kids? Okay, I feel, so you just changed my perspective, because I was like, that seems wrong, because I would feel terrible if I was looking online. A lot of people book their flights online. If I was looking at that was like a kid only, and that's the time slot I need.
I will say this too. I remember being on a flight, and Aiden was being a normal, like 2-year-old, not like going too crazy. And there was an older couple behind me, and they saw that I was, slightly like freaking out, because again, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They're uncomfortable, but the mom is also uncomfortable.
Embarrassing?
Yes, and embarrassed. And the guy, he just looked at Adam and I. He said, "You know what? I just want to let you guys know you're doing a good job."
Wow.
You're doing a good job.
That. We should encourage more of that. More of that.
I think I've said this before. I was on a flight to South Africa from Atlanta, and that's 14 hours. And it was a toddler on, she 2-3 years old, and she wasn't listening to nobody. And Auntie Lonnie kicked in. And I was stuck with her for 8 hours, but she was quiet. She sat next to me, and then when I kept trying to give her back, I was like, okay, well then I guess this is what we're gonna happen. I think, one, that there are options that the airline can do. Maybe they can have flights for, look at the age of the children. Maybe 3 and under. Maybe you have more flights for, especially during the holidays. But maybe have some flights that maybe if you're 3 and under, maybe you don't want to fly with you. Because the thing is, it's hard to say discipline a child, because people are not, people have different ways of disciplining. Child-free flights, I could just see the airlines trying to profit off of it. And it's just gonna be too much money and everything.
And it's not fair to make people without kids having to pay more in order to just get from A to B. But I do believe that we live in a society, which means community. We all are responsible for one another. So we, people who don't have kids or aren't traveling with kids, could be more understanding, always look that there could be some issue with the person.
No, because on that 8-hour flight, I would have been talking. I would have got up and, what's wrong? Let's just try to calm them down.
Airlines should also offer some help. Maybe offer free Wi-Fi to the parents so that the kids can play.
I will tell you this, y'all. Southwest is amazing. They gave Adam and I, they saw that we had 2 kids. They were like, here, a free glass of wine for you. They already know that we were, you know what I mean?
They need to give it to the customers that's listening to the kids, because that's what I do. I was like, give me some free alcohol.
I have a question though. As loud as the kid was crying, does it work with headphones?
Not if he's running up and down. First of all, it's a safety issue. To all the parents out there, I understand that your kid, whatever, but it's a safety issue. That's still a moving vehicle. Anything could happen on the plane, so you do want to be able to control that child, but we gotta go. But definitely do that.
I will stay in my seats if you offer me a free shot. We have to take a break, but there's more for our Friday Girl Chat on the way right after this. You're watching The Real with guest co-host Tiny.
Welcome back to The Real. We're here with our guest co-host for today, Miss Tiny.
We're only shine on the commercial. Johnny was like, we're back.
Well, let's get back into some more Friday Girl Chat. One of the scariest feelings in the world is checking your phone the next morning after a drunken night out. Don't I know about that?
Like tonight.
You never know what you might find. Well, for Twitter user what is her name?
Moya.
At Oima,
At Moya
Take her drink away.
Okay, no, don't do that. At Moya I am, she she found art instead of drunk text. She found a full-on professional photo shoot of her local kebab restaurant.
What?
Yeah, look at it. Was nice pictures though, and as beautiful as the pictures are, she doesn't remember taking any of them.
Come on.
They're in portrait mode and everything. She moved into portrait mode.
Well, Tiny, if we checked your phone after a night out, will we find anything surprising?
You went find Jack.
Why?
Because one, I'm hardly taking pictures. For two, I don't, I'm a little drinker, like a baby drinker, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. Oh, no.
Why?
Because I just asked her, I said, do you want me to top that off during the break? And she was like, nah, this will probably be the only thing. I was like, for real?
Are you a lightweight?
Yeah,
Like
I'm a lightweight, a very
How many drinks does it take for Tiny to tip?
No, I can.
You get that? Tiny to tip?
You get That was amazing, Jeannie.
Jeannie didn't even know that. Okay, go ahead.
I can drink. I can go. Like, I can drink 5, 6 shots of tequila.
all right.
But I just don't choose to.
Okay.
Like,
Responsible.
yeah.
That's very
may have
responsible of you and
3.
irresponsible of me.
Well, I don't know, but there's something about after a good night of drinks, does anybody else whip their phone out and they just start taking hella selfies because they think they look fine?
No,
look
girl, I
crazy.
lose my phone. I don't know where it is.
No, I never.
I'm the only one that be like, where's my phone?
No, that's
I hand if I'm gonna drink, I hand my phone to my husband and I say, you got this? Great.
Well, see,
We enjoy the night.
I remember
Come
at
on,
my...
you take pictures.
I literally do like for instance on the weekends, guys, when I don't respond, I respond mad
Yes,
late.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I promise it to you, if I'm with my husband or my family and I'm having a good time, I don't even remember that a phone exists.
That's
right.
Like, that is the best feeling in the world.
That was me at my birthday roast. I had a birthday roast. Jeannie was out the country.
Yes.
But
you
Tamara
guys came, yeah.
and her husband and Munchkin and her husband came, right? And so it was a great roast. And the next morning, I woke up and I was like, I don't remember taking a picture with them. Well, this popped up in my phone, this picture. And I still don't remember taking this picture.
You don't?
I don't remember taking
This
that
was
picture.
amazing. We
Yeah.
had the best time.
We did.
Lonnie, you had the best birthday. The roast was
I can't
amazing.
believe they did the roast.
You
She didn't care. She took it.
Yeah, that's
We
good.
were taking
That's
it
a
more
champ.
personally
You're a
than,
champ.
Yeah,
than
I'm not
Lonnie
gonna lie.
was. We were upset.
We were mad.
I'd probably be mad. I'd be like,
We were literally in our booth. People were roasting Lonnie, and we were like, no, this is unacceptable. We were offended for her. We
Yes.
wanted to stand up and be like, no.
But Tiny,
No,
they
bitch.
started talking about them too. They started talking about the show, everything, and I was like, somebody put earmuffs on Tam. Because I was really like, Tam, that was the only person I was really afraid for, because she doesn't listen to that type of stuff. And it was some harsh words, but I knew Adam was there, and so I said, Adam, make sure you explain to her, because she would get upset.
I just
She
kept
had certain
ordering her
things.
drinks.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah. But I was like lit, so I don't remember taking that picture right there.
See, but at least you look cute in
Yeah.
that picture. That's
Yeah.
the
You
difference.
look coherent.
Have you guys you look very cute.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken selfies and you think you look fine, and then the next morning you wake up and you're like, let me see myself last night. I look so good. And you look at the pictures and you look like a drunk fiend.
Greasy.
Come on, this is me right here. This is after selfies after me. I wake up and I look at that and I was like, what had happened?
Oh my God.
What were you thinking? What were you saying? Why are your eyes?
It doesn't matter what I was thinking. What was I drinking?
That's hilarious. You know what? We have to take a break, but there's more Friday Girl Chat on the way with our special guest co-host, Tiny.
Yes,
Don't go
girl.
anywhere. You're watching The Real.
On that note.
Welcome back. We are celebrating Friday with our guest co-host, Tiny. So, let's get back into more girl chat. Now, earlier in the show, we showed you video of a child causing havoc on an airplane, but that wasn't the only bad behavior in the air this week. We asked you, our amazing fans, to go on our Instagram page and choose between 2 unruly passengers who made the skies very unfriendly. Now, normally, we put them on the L train, but this week, they're competing to fly first class on the L plane.
Boom.
So we did that. Plane.
Our first L plane candidate is just plain old disgusting, okay? A plane flying from Dubai to Amsterdam was forced to make an emergency landing after a fight broke out over a male passenger who refused to stop farting.
Oh my goodness.
That is gross.
Yes.
Despite repeated requests to stop, the man reportedly continued to let it rip, causing the physical confrontation. You guys, it got so bad that officers had to board the flight with police dogs to escort the people off the plane.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God.
I don't know. This is terrible.
That is
And you know I have fear of flying. This would be so bad.
Yes.
So the question is, will this man causing turbulence with his flatulence land him on the L plane this week? We'll find out soon.
Okay, well, our next L plane candidate gives new meaning to the term airing out your dirty laundry. Guys, a woman on a flight from Turkey to Moscow was caught on video literally holding up her underwear under a plane vent for 20 minutes.
The fact that Chris is even laughing. Chris is dying laughing.
I'm dying
You
right
guys,
now.
20 minutes in an attempt to dry them. The woman didn't even seem embarrassed at all as passengers looked on in shock. I'm sorry, but that is nasty.
No,
Okay?
come on. That is crazy.
Will this woman be hung out to dry when the results come in? We are about to find out.
Okay, are you ready to find out who's
Yes.
taking the L plane? Will it be the passenger who passed gas?
Hell.
Or the woman who tried to dry her drawers?
Please, no.
Can we put
Tiny, what do you think?
Oh my
What do you think? Who do you
What do
say
you
wins?
think? Who you say?
Well, I'm gonna have to say the passenger that's passing gas because I do not want to smell your insides. I'm sorry, you are not gonna do that.
Oh,
That
yes.
is nasty. I'm not gonna do
right.
that.
Well, let's see who the audience picked. Wow!
Thank you.
It's the woman drying her drawers. That's right.
nasty.
60% of you voted for her, and I'm sorry,
What?
but you just booked a first-class ticket on the L plane.
Nasty.
We have to take a break, but there's more of The Real with guest co-host Tiny coming up right up after this.
Welcome back. It's time to get in some more girl time. Yes, that ringing must mean it's time for The Real's Hotline Bling.
Yes.
Caller, what's your name and who is that fine man with you?
Hey.
Dad, Eric,
Oh, that's your dad, Eric. And what's your name?
Erica.
Hey, Erica. Eric. And where are you from?
Buckeye, Arizona.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, Arizona. So you're watching us on Fox 10 out there. We love Fox 10.
Yes, we do.
Erica, how excited are you to have our guest, Miss Tiny, here in the house?
Very happy because I'm so proud of her. She's overcome everything she went through. I'm just really proud of her.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
That's right, you're calling us on a very special day, but we actually heard that you're a huge fan of Tiny's. Is there anything that you want to ask her?
Yes, Tiny, how is it like going on tour after everything you have overcome in the past year?
Wow.
It's great. I mean, it's watching the fans it's a bigger audience than we've ever had. So it's like colossal from when we were back in the 90s. And also, I mean, it was a little rough for me because I had my back when I don't know, after the first show, I was like, oh my God, I had to take Motrin every night.
Wow.
before stage. Yeah, but I mean, it took about 2 weeks and I finally got it together. I don't know, maybe my body was in shock. But I was out there dancing so hard, I don't know, and nobody else was hurting but me. I was like, I know I'm in better shape than you, girl, but they was like, no.
Erica, your dad, Eric. Hey, Eric, how you doing?
Hi, Eric.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm here for the name.
Lord,
The name,
Eric.
clearly you named her Erica after you, right?
I sure did. Since I don't have any boys, I got all girls, so I had to name them after me.
I love it. That's your
Are you
junior.
available? Or you take it?
Lonnie,
Don't let my mama come back to you.
No, I'm well.
Is your mama there? Bring your mama. Where's she at? Is she there?
Nah, see you at work.
Why that smile?
And I heard, seriously though, I heard that your father watches The Real. Do you watch us, Eric?
Yes, I do.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much for the love. We love our real men. We always say that.
Man. That's what you are, a real man to us in our show. So thank you for that so much.
Okay.
I so appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica and Eric. Will you come into the studio sometime if you ever come to LA?
We sure will.
Okay, but stay away from Lonnie. Watch out. She got sticky fingers over here. We'll be right back with more of The Real after this.
Welcome back. When our next guest is not busy filming Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta, you can either find her writing, recording, or performing music. Tiny, take it away.
Please welcome my beautiful daughter, Zonnique.
Welcome to the show. Okay, I want to get right into it. You broke some big news on Instagram. You said, you announced that you were pregnant.
Oh, I did. I had a child. His name is Whiskey. He's a puppy, everyone.
The way that they were so confused.
Everybody's like, huh?
He is so cute. What kind of dog is that?
He's a Pomeranian.
So cute.
Yes, all the smallest dogs that you'll ever see. And
How big is he?
cute. He right now is probably a pound, but he's supposed to get 4 pounds, they say.
Okay. And what is it like being a mother now?
You know,
How
guys,
has your life changed?
my life is mom. My life now is so much, you know, having a child. It's really time consuming. I feel bad about leaving them at home, so I'm still looking for godparents, you know, who will babysit at any time.
So time-consuming that you leave him with my mother.
My grandmother has him now, so.
Keep it real
Okay,
time.
okay.
Thank God for grandparents. Why'd you name him Whiskey?
Because he's brown.
Okay.
So, you know, I just want to be different. And
Brown liquor. Brown liquor.
Well, congratulations to motherhood.
Okay, wait, so speaking of babies, on Twitter, you happen to have the handle Baby Spice.
I do.
Why Baby Spice?
Well, I have always loved the Spice Girls. Growing up, it was like one of my favorite movies. And in my family, I'm like, even though there's a lot of us, but everyone treats me like the baby. So I always play Baby Spice watching it. And I don't know, I love the Spice Girls still.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. But you did hear that there was a possible rumor that they were all joining together?
I did.
Were you bummed too that they're not?
Oh my God, I put it on my Insta story. I'm like, y'all, Spice Girls are back. And it was like,
Did you put us on your Insta story?
I did. Put Escape on my Insta story.
Well, something I'd like to hear about is that, you know, because I've been proposed to many times. And I heard that you got proposed to. So tell me the story, girl.
What happened?
Okay, well, long story short, I met this guy at this event in his hometown, and he came up to me, he gave me this $100 and it wrapped around a rose, and I took it out, and it was like, can I take you out for a drink? And that was it. I followed him, and everybody was like, he's creepy, like, unfollow him. So I unfollow him. And then we get to the show, and I see him in line, and I'm like, oh my God, there's that guy, like, I hope he's not gonna do something crazy. He's like, I don't want no picture, I just wanna do this. And then he just pops the ring open.
Are you serious?
It was a real ring,
It was
a diamond ring.
It was nice. It was a nice
Tiny,
diamond
what
ring.
was
Like
you
my
going
mom was
through?
like- My mom was like, that's a nice ring. She kept saying
But I was trying to, you know, throw it off because I didn't want her to have to be like, no, because I knew that's the answer. But I was like, you know, you have to talk to her dad. You haven't talked to her dad yet. And he was like, no, I talked to God. And God told me I could do this and this and this and that. So
using God.
Yes.
Wait, so did you keep the ring?
You know, after we said no, he shut it up and
yeah.
he got out of there. He got out of there. He was crushed.
All right. Wow.
Okay.
Well, you're going to have plenty more of that, so don't
Yes.
worry,
Yes,
all right?
thanks.
All right, so Zonnique, what is it like, and you have to be honest, you're on the real, okay? What is it like touring with your mama?
Well, I was honestly nervous before tour started, and I felt like, you know, I'm gonna be the youngest one on the tour. Everyone's gonna wanna go to the club, and I'm not gonna wanna party with them, is how I was feeling. But when tour started, it was really fun. I think just being able to watch her perform was like the best part every night.
Aww.
And
that's sweet.
And, you know, we got to have fun after some of the shows, so I actually really enjoyed it.
We did the Ritz-Carlton.
We did some challenges and stuff, so yeah, we had a good time.
Some challenges.
Well, I guess we tried to start our own Ritz-Carlton challenge, but, you know, nobody did it after us.
We killed it.
Well, let's check out how you prepared for your tour in this clip of Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta.
We're gonna have fun on that bus, okay?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm really excited to go on tour, do not get me wrong, but sleeping on a bunk never compares to sleeping in your bed. And even worse, me and my mom share the same dancers, and she's hogging up all their time. And now I'm starting to freak out because I have to be prepared for this tour.
How your rehearsals going?
They going all right so far. I haven't rehearsed with them yet because they've been rehearsing with you. So I'm hoping they can rehearse with me tonight, maybe.
So cute.
So, you're signed to my label, Pretty Hustle, and this question is a little hard for me, but I would like to know, how's it working for me?
Well, Miss Tiny, actually, in the beginning, it was pretty rough. I think that you could say the same. We just didn't gel at first because I felt like she's my mom. Like, don't go so hard on me. Especially when I was in a group, she would like single me out because I was her child and go like hard on me. Like, I mean, you sound bad. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, you hurting my feelings. But I think now that I'm more older, we found the balance of working together and it works out.
That's sweet. I love it.
Does your mom do anything to get under your skin?
Well, since you asked.
Yeah, let's hear it.
What's my one thing that you really do? Oh, you know, she knows this already. She doesn't have an inside voice. And she talks really loud all the time, like especially when she's on the phone, she'll put it on speaker, and it's like the speaker is loud on top of her being loud, and I'm like, I know, like, y'all can talk a little lower, and I'm like, Mom, like, she gets mad.
That's because you whisper. Every time you talk, it's like, I'll be like, what are you saying?
That's true. Welcome back. We had so much fun today. Tiny, we love having you here. Did you have fun?
I always have fun when I'm co-hosting with you, ladies.
A huge thank you to Zonnique for stopping by and performing for us. It was excellent. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you right back here next time on what, ladies?
The Real! This is